The hangar lights buzzed faintly as Evan Ward, a junior mechanic for the Interstellar fleet, dragged a plasma mop across the metal floor. It was near midnight aboard Station Asterion, and most of the crew had already retired to their bunks. Evan, however, had the misfortune of drawing the graveyard shift again. He didn't complain out loud, but the universe knew who he blamed for it. Commander Saraxis Vale, his impossibly strict, impossibly tall, and impossibly beautiful alien superior. She belonged to the Aurelian species. Pale skin with a faint crystalline shimmer, eyes like molten silver, and a voice as calm and cold as deep space itself. Everything about her radiated composure, order, and a professionalism so intense that it could evaporate the soul of anyone who slacked off. And Evan? Well, he was human, and tired, and bored, and catastrophically prone to stupid decisions when left unsupervised. He leaned against his mop, pulling out his wrist comm. Let's see, he muttered, mandatory shift logs, inspection schedules, crew reminders. God, this woman never sleeps. Then he made his mistake. A tiny message window blinked open. Recipient, Commander Vale. Status, available. He didn't plan it. He didn't even think about it. He just typed, smiled to himself, and pressed send. If I clean this hangar any harder, Commander, you're gonna owe me dinner. Maybe something candlelit. Evan. The moment he hit send, he froze. His soul left his body. His mop clattered to the floor. His future grave dug itself somewhere in the universe. No. No. Why did I do that? He clawed at his wrist comm, frantically searching for an unsend option. There wasn't one. Aurelian devices didn't believe in unsending. A message once transmitted is reality acknowledged, as the Aurelians like to say. Reality acknowledged my butt. Evan groaned. For 30 seconds, he paced back and forth like a man awaiting execution. Then a soft chime vibrated from his wrist comm. Message seen. He stopped breathing. The hangar felt very large, very quiet, and very filled with regret. He replayed every possible punishment scenario: demotion, reassignment, vaporization, being volunteered to clean reactor vents for the next decade. But just as he started convincing himself that maybe she hadn't taken it seriously, a metallic clang echoed from outside the hangar. Then footsteps. Sharp, controlled, purposeful. The doors slid open, and there she stood. Commander Saraxis Vale entered the hangar like frost entering a room, silent but unmistakable. Her long coat, embroidered with shimmering Aurelian sigils, swept behind her like a comet tail. Her eyes, those piercing, molten silver eyes, locked onto Evan with the force of a gravitational well. Mechanic Ward. Her voice was smooth, clipped, calculated. Evan stiffened so hard he nearly snapped in half. Yes, Commander. Hello. Good evening. Nice weather outside? Well, it's space, so not really weather. Silence. He shut up instantly. She walked toward him with measured steps, each one deliberate. Not angry, not hurried, but intentional. Evan had seen that walk before, usually when someone was about to receive very bad news. She stopped a meter in front of him. You sent me a message. He felt sweat form in places he didn't know could sweat. Yes, Commander. I apologize. It was a mistake. A stupid, definitely my last day alive mistake. Indeed. He swallowed. Commander Vale lifted her wrist comm and projected the message between them, floating in holographic clarity. If I clean this hangar any harder, Commander, you're going to owe me dinner. Maybe something candlelit. Evan. She tilted her head. Explain. He considered lying. He considered fainting. He considered launching himself out the nearest airlock. Instead, he sighed in absolute defeat. I was tired and frustrated and trying to joke. Poorly, very poorly. Her eyes narrowed. Humans often employ humor as a coping mechanism. This I understand. What I do not understand is the addition of, she pointed to the end of the message. This symbol. The wink. Yes. That. Oh. It's flirtatious. She blinked. So you attempted to flirt with your commanding officer. I swear I didn't attempt anything, Evan stammered. It just happened. A long, unbearably tense silence filled the hangar. Then, something shifted. Not her posture, not her expression. Something more subtle, an aura, a softening, a faint change in the air like static before a storm. She stepped closer, close enough for him to feel the radiant coolness of her skin. Human, she said quietly, in my culture, directness is valued. You initiated a courtship gesture. His brain shut down. A what? You used a symbol implying romantic or intimate interest. Evan turned red so fast he practically glowed. Commander, please. I'm not. This isn't. But she raised a hand, silencing him. I have observed you, Evan Ward. His heart stopped. You work long hours. You do not complain. You're inefficient in humor, but efficient in repair. And you show initiative. She paused, even when that initiative is reckless. He couldn't tell if he was being praised or sentenced. Then, to his utter shock, her expression softened. Just barely. A microfraction. But he saw it. I came here, she continued, to ask if the invitation was sincere. Invitation? To dinner. His knees nearly gave out. You want to go to dinner? With me? It would be illogical to ignore a gesture if its intent was genuine. He opened his mouth, and absolutely nothing came out. Commander Vale clasped her hands behind her back. If it was not genuine, say so now. I will ignore the message and file it as human error. Evan took a breath. A risky, wild, heart-pounding breath. No, he said softly. It was genuine. Something changed in her eyes. A tiny spark, curiosity, warmth, interest. It was the first non-regulation emotion Evan had ever seen from her. Very well, she said. We will proceed. Proceed to where? Aurelians do not delay once interest is confirmed, she replied. There is a small observation lounge on Deck 7. It offers a view of the nebula. It is considered romantically suitable. He nearly fainted. But, she added, stepping closer again, Aurelian custom requires one additional clarification. What kind? He whispered. It is tradition, she said, that before the first shared meal, the one who initiated the courtship must offer a gesture of sincerity. His voice cracked. A gesture like, she leaned forward, her face only inches from his, silver eyes glowing with an expression that could melt the whole plating he'd just mopped clean. A touch, she whispered upon the cheek. His heart launched into hyperspace. Slowly, carefully, he lifted his hand. She closed her eyes as his fingertips brushed her skin, cool like starlight, smooth like crystal. When she opened her eyes again, they were no longer cold. Gesture accepted, she said softly. The hangar suddenly felt warm. She turned toward the exit. Come, Evan Ward. We have a dinner and a new dynamic to explore. He followed, trying not to stumble from shock. As the doors slid shut behind them, he couldn't help but laugh breathlessly to himself. A flirty text, one tiny wink, and now he was going on a date with the coldest, most intimidating, most stunning alien commander in the entire fleet. Maybe night shifts weren't so bad after all. And somewhere deep in Station Asterion, rumors were about to spread faster than warp drives.